on this computer, we are good to go. All right. Hey, everybody. My name's Amber Davis. If you want to find me on Facebook, I'm Amber Leatherwood Davis. So it's so funny whenever you meet people in real life. They want to call you by your Facebook name. And so just wanted to put that out there that my name is Amber Davis, Amber Leatherwood Davis, if you find me on Facebook. And I am so excited to be with each and every one of you tonight. So we've got some awesome ladies. I have Carly and Lindsay with me, and today we're going to be tackling the topic, how do you restart your Thrive business? And I want everybody to get a notebook and a pen, a pencil, whatever your writing utensil is of choice. If you are super with it and you like to type notes on your computer, I am old school. I'm using actually my Lavelle cool little journal they gave us at Thrive Palooza. So if you were at Palooza, put in the chat if you actually got to see Lindsay on stage. If not, you are in for a treat tonight. I know her story resonated with so many people. And we're gonna dive into it. So I promise you guys, I don't know about y'all, but I sometimes sit in the audience of Palooza, or like I watch a Zoom and I'm like, but what happens next? Like, well, how did you do that? Like, what are the questions? And so I've already told Carly, Lindsay's going to hear this for the first time. I want them to be raw and real. We're going to ask them the hard questions because sometimes I feel like this is a topic that we don't talk about enough. You know, so many times we see the possibility that is direct sales, network marketing. We know that it's possible. We see people doing what we sign up for, right? We all of us click that promoter button for a reason. We have some kind of goal, we have some kind of dream. You know, I'll be the first to admit, like so for those of you that don't know me and don't know my story, I'm not going to go into it for very long, but I have actually been with the company for over 7 years. So that is like grandma status. Like balance was new, guys, whenever I was like getting started. Like Activate, the original flavor that probably half of y'all have never even tried. Like you had to qualify to even be able to order that. Like back in the day, Lavelle here. And you know, I came on at a time where I started kind of with, you know, some sideline sisters, and they all qualified for Cabo. And I didn't qualify for Cabo, and I started at the same time as them. They all got their auto bonus. I didn't get my auto bonus. It was like people were going warp speed 200K. I felt like an oddball out because it took me about 2 years to get to 200K. And so I know that feeling of you sign up, you maybe sign up, somebody signs up before you, same time, and they're off to the races. And you start to think, what's wrong with me? What do they have that I don't have? They're better at this than me. Or maybe you were off to the races and you were popping and things were great. And then you lost your team and you lost your faith in yourself. And there's 100 reasons why. Maybe somebody, you know, posted, oh my gosh, can't believe you get involved with that pyramid scheme, and that rocked your world. And you were like, I got to walk away from this. But yeah, you've still watched and you've seen other people, and and maybe you've stayed with the product, or maybe you've left the product and you've gone searching for something else. And really something in your heart has always been like, Thrive is where it's at. I want to do something here. I want to come back here. Maybe you got up, you left the table, you saw your team still sitting there, and you're wondering, are people gossiping about me? Can I come back to this table? Or maybe you've never sat down at the table and you just watched other people do what you wanted to do. Guys, we've all had those thoughts. We've all been there. And I guarantee you, you're here, you dialed in, this topic resonated with you for a reason. And we are going to tackle those reasons. So first, I really want to go over to Carly first, because what y'all don't know is that she was with, or maybe some of y'all do know, she was with Lavelle. She left Lavelle, tried 7 other companies, and just recently came back to Lavelle. So, I mean, she has resigned her account, walked away, left the team, and then in earlier this year, she came back, and guys, she went and hit that $4,000 bonus. So she's kind of done it all when it comes to been here. So Carly, walk us through kind of like what it was like your first round with Le-Vel. Like, did you hit VIP 800? What rank did you get to? Like, how long did you thrive before you were like, nope, I got to go find something else?
Yeah. So hi, everyone. My name's Carly. So I first actually joined in December 2017 with a friend of mine. We actually were with the same company before, and we tried a 3-day mini. We both fell in love with it. We felt like we were, on top of the world, and we were like, okay, we have to sign up. Like, we have to do this. And then she went ahead and joined, and I was still a little skeptical. And then like 2 days later, I was like, okay, sign me up. So I signed up, and kind of like what you were just talking about, she took off. She hit her VIPs. She went 4K in like 32 days or something, like super fast. And I did not hit my VIPs. I didn't get the iPad bonus, which was what was back then. And it took me a few months to like be like, okay, I can do this. Like, she's doing it, I can do it. So like my 3rd or 4th month in, I did go 4K. And then I went to conference the next month in New Orleans, and they announced rank advancement bonuses. And I was like, I am getting this $12,000 bonus. And I did. I went 12K under my account and got the $12,000 bonus, and 4K under my husband's account and got the $4,000 bonus. So that was in May of 2018. And honestly, I got my 12K bonus that next month. I got like to $18,000 or $19,000 in sales, the highest I had ever seen in network marketing before. Felt like I was on top of the world. July comes around and it plummeted, and I lost that bonus. And I think I lost my husband's bonus too. So I went from making like $4,000 a month with my bonuses to like maybe 500, which is still good money. But when you're making that kind, it's like a stab in the heart, And at that point, I quit my job, which was not smart looking back. And anyway, so I ended up having to go back to work a few months later. And that was around 2019 when that happened. And I started to like get my fire back. I was really excited, and went to a conference in Texas 2 years ago. And then the next month, I found out I was pregnant with our daughter. And this is where it got really rocky. And I don't know, pregnancy hormones just make me crazy. And I think I was just clashing with my upline, who was also pregnant. So we were both pregnant. Our hormones were everywhere. And I walked away at the end of July, in July 2019. And it was, people ask me all the time, like, why did you leave? Why did you leave? And I really have never been able to give like a straight answer, like exactly why. I just really think I wasn't mentally in it anymore. My excitement, my fire had died down. So I walked away, and so I went to 2 companies after that, and I did okay with one of them, but life happened. Then I had my daughter, and I started back on Thrive, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel really good. So I actually came back to Le-Vel in February of last year, and I don't know what happened, but I just decided to leave again. And so I left again and went to, I think, 5 different companies. It was crazy in between like May of last year. And I came back again in September. So this is my 4th time with Le-Vel, which is just crazy. And honestly, do you want me to do you have any other questions? Like, do you want me to keep going? Okay. Okay. So I went to a few different companies. In between this, when I left Le-Vel last year in May, I found out I was pregnant again with our 3rd baby. My daughter was only 4 months old. So life was insane at the time. And at one point I was like, I'm going to try these products again. Like, I know what they can do. Like, they helped me lose 40 pounds before. Like, I felt amazing. I knew what they could do. So tried again. And I don't know, like, where my head was at again. Pregnancy hormones, they're something else. So that's when I left. And at one point, it's so crazy. Like when you sent me the flyer for this Zoom and I saw Lindsay was on here too, I was just like, this is like a sign. Like I was meant to do this with her just because she doesn't know, although I reached out to her this morning. I followed her at some point last year in the fall when I was not with Lavelle. And I watched her and I watched Katie Coberline like hawks, and I loved their energy and I loved what they were doing, and like seeing them like have this success that they were having and like doing like normal things, you know, like they both have kids. It just got me like my wheels turning in my head, and I watched them and they were slowly changing my mindset into like, okay, you can do this. Like you just have to stick with it for longer than 2 months at a time. And so then I had my son in February. And what's really funny is my husband was about to start taking the products himself, and I didn't want him to use my stash that I had. So I was like, no, I'm going to take them. You're not taking them. And I fell back in love with the products like I did the first time. And that's really when I was thinking like, okay, you either have to go all in or not at all. Like just be done with network marketing in general. Like you've done so many companies in a year and a half, like you got to get your stuff together. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I reached out to my upline. I was like, I'm back. I'm coming back. I want that $4,000 bonus because the car that I'm in can barely hold 3 car seats in the back. And I was like, I want that $4,000 bonus so I can pay my car off and I'm not upside down trying to get a new car. And that's what I did. I came back. I have poured into myself every day with, you know, personal development and just realizing, you know, we're all no different than each other. Like we're all human. We're all just trying to make it and give, you know, ourselves and our families and our kids and whoever just the best life that they can possibly live. And I just created this bulletproof mindset. And I used to look at people like Lindsay and see, you know, them posting like their checks and their stuff that they're making. And I used to be like, that's never going to be me. That's not going to be me. I can't do that. And now I look at it and it fuels my fire because I'm like, in a year from now, like that's going to be me. Like I'm going to be paying for stuff in cash. I'm going to be debt free. Like we are doing it. And I tell my upline all the time, I'm like, I don't care if it takes me 5 years. I'm really young and y'all are going to be like, oh my gosh, but I'm not even 25 yet. So I'm like, you know, I'm like, if it takes me 5 years, like I'll only be 30, you know, even 10 years, I will only be in my mid 30s. Like that's so young. And it's so like worth it, you know, to put the time, the effort, the tears, the sweat, like everything in now, because like, who cares if it takes another 5 years? Like, it's better than nothing. Like if you give up, you'll never know, you know, what you could have had and what you could have done. So it's been a really wild year and a half for me, to say the least.
So a question I want to ask you is, you know, I think a lot of people, when they're in that same boat, whether they've left and they've come back, or maybe they've stopped sharing about Thrive, let's just put us in like that kind of, you know, if you wanted to restart my business, maybe they haven't fully walked away, but they've pretty much been absent. Like they haven't talked to friends about it. It was as if they, you know, did resign their account. Did you ever go through, I sound a little quiet. Okay, I'm going to speak into the, this, hopefully that helps. Like, where did you start? Did you feel like, I think a lot of people struggle with, I feel like my credibility is gone. Like, who do I talk to? Like, you had already hit 12K, you know, like moving on to almost $20,000 in volume. That is huge. That means you've talked to a lot of people in that first part. And I think a lot of people get overwhelmed when they want to come back. They know that this is a good product. They know that this is a great company. They see the inspiration, they see what's possible, like you were talking about, but it's like they think, I don't even know where to start. I've already burned through all my bridges. I've already burned through all my contacts. What did you like? I'm sure you kind of went through some of that. What did you do? Like, how did you, like, when we talk about how do I restart my business, like who do you talk to now? Like, did you go back to those people? Did you, walk us through? Because I know that in itself is a mindset challenge, because we fear, you make up what people are going to say. Oh my gosh, here comes Carly trying to thrive again. Like, and you were like, I'm not even going to have that. So if somebody were to come to you and say, I want to do this, but I'm so scared, I feel like I've burned all my bridges, I don't know who to talk to, what would you tell them? What did you do?
So yeah, that was like one of my main fears with coming back. And it took me like 2 weeks this last time to like really get the courage to be like, okay, I've got to come back and do it, because that was something I was afraid of, because this was my 4th time coming back. And so I really just, I think over the last year and a half, I just stayed consistent. And I think just sharing my life and, being vulnerable on social media helped people get to know me and know my heart, and like know like where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And I did, get to almost $20,000 in sales a few years ago. And when I left the first time, I had a lot of people of my customers come with me and want to try the products that I was now promoting. And I think that helped because then I had them come back, because they all along were like, I really loved Thrive the best, but I wanted to support you. And so I just being consistent has helped, showing people like what it's helping me do as a mom, with 3 kids under 3.5, like that's craziness already. And just being like, I was able to clean and do all this stuff, just being consistent, showing what the products have done. I have grown my network, like on Instagram, and I've started like utilizing some of the new tools on Instagram to grow my network. And, I feel like I'm just talking in circles now, but really just like being consistent with it and making sure you talk about like where you want to go, what you want the products, or what the products are doing for you, has really helped me a lot. I've actually had people who have been watching me for years finally coming around and hopping on board with me or ordering the products for the first time.
Yeah, no. And guys, I just want to encourage you, 7 years, I still have people that they ask me, they're like, okay, so like, what is Thrive? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's a capsule, it's a lifestyle mix, and a patch. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, do you not watch anything that I do? But guys, they watch. They don't fully understand. They're waiting for an invitation. So that's so true. Okay, Carly, we might come back to you, because I know people are, they're popping in the chat and asking questions. So, but I want to hop over to Lindsay for just a few minutes. So, but the chat is blowing up, talking about how awesome you are, how inspired they are. They're relating to you so much. So, but I have to, and I think that that's probably the hardest thing that everybody on here, when they hear that they want, they say, I want to restart my business. Raise your hand if consistency is your hardest thing. It's so hard to be consistent every single day, but I promise you, if you will just share a little bit about Thrive, don't go to bed unless you're like, I did not share Thrive with somebody today, and hold yourself accountable to tomorrow. I didn't share Thrive with somebody today, I'm going to share Thrive with 2 people tomorrow. You don't let yourself off the hook. Gary John Bishop talked about this at Palooza. Why do we break promises to ourselves? Stop breaking promises to yourself. So Lindsay, are you still on? She kind of disappeared from my top.
Hey. Oh, don't mind my Zoom.
We do this for a year. I was like, please, dear God, don't let me lose internet. So Lindsay,
hold on 1 second. You're gonna have to unmute me. Let me yell at my dogs real quick. Hold on.
We'll turn it back over to Carly. Can I pull in from the waiting room? Let me see. We might, the waiting room feature is not on, but let me check that really quick. If somebody's telling you that they're in the waiting room, they may not be at the right Zoom link, because this one does not have a waiting room. We actually have almost 600 people on here. Don't be nervous, Carly. It's like, I just go, whoa. So I haven't had anybody that needs the waiting room. So if somebody's asking for the waiting room, make sure that they're on this link.
Lindsay said to unmute her.
Okay. Let me go find her again. There she is. Unmute. Okay.
Sorry, y'all. We got a zoo here. I have 2 Great Danes and a guinea pig and a toddler and a husband, and it's nuts.
Hey, no excuses around here, right? Like we do it in the thick of things. So, yes, Joy, there are 2 links because we were going to max out on that other link. So we tried to get the new Zoom out there, but I'll definitely have this recording and we will spread that out. So, all right, Lindsay, I think one of the most, there were so many things that you said that I just had people talking to me about, but I think one of the things that really stood out to a lot of people was that you said you lost rank. Did you say 5 times?
No. So I actually wrote down numbers too, so
okay.
I can tell you all exactly where I was at. So
okay, but I think that really stood out to people because we don't talk enough about you might lose your rank. It's not the end of your business, and we don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about the fact that you have all this. What do you do when the momentum stops? Do you tuck and run, or do you pull a Lindsay? That's what we're going to call it now. From now on in Lavelle, we're going to pull a Lindsay, and we're just going to keep going. So I want you to, for those of the people that weren't at Palooza, walk us through, like, how did you get introduced to Lavelle, and what your journey has kind of been? Because, like, I'm just going to stop talking. You just go.
Sure thing. Okay. So, hey y'all, my name's Linz. On Instagram, Linz Coggin, on Facebook, Lindsay Coggin. And I found, Lavelle found me, my enroller, Emma Henning now, she was Hastings at the time. But Em found me on social media, and I had been watching her, and I watched for 3 months until I finally hit the promoter button in December of 2017, December 10th to be exact. And y'all, I hit the ground running hard. There was no stopping me. I hit my VIP 1600 in 2 days. I hit 4K in 3 days. I hit 12K in 11 days. I was 40K by the end of January. And February 2018, my team ended over 90,000 in sales. And we continued that momentum all the way through 2018. Any single leaderboard, I don't know if y'all remember the leaderboards where they had the rookie boards where you could earn bonuses. I was the top 2 in every single one. So I earned some insanely amazing bonuses, and I was on cloud 9. I thought my team was invincible. I was invincible. It was only up from here, until it wasn't. And something that I'm going to talk about is why I could have gotten on stage and talked about anything, but I wanted to specifically talk about losing everything, because it's not the end. You lose everything to rebuild, and what you rebuild is so much more beautiful. And if you think in network marketing, you're never going to lose rank or volume, or your checks aren't going to dip. Hi, hello. I'm going to tell y'all, I was on cloud 9, and I'm not trying to make income claims either. We have a link if anyone needs a link for that. Hey, always like to be compliant, but I earned 6 figures in my first year with Lavelle, and my second year, I did not. I crashed. And January of 2019, my team had done 62,000 in sales. February of 2019, we did $21,000 in sales, but I did not rank enough or the 4 Q&A for my auto bonus. So, and at that time I had built 2 accounts, one for me and one for my mama. So she was one of my strongest legs, and she was not even 4K, and I had got her all the way to 40K. So those 2 accounts.
So this is after you'd already had the booming year?
No. Yeah. So this is 2019. Yeah. So that's where I was getting. So 2018, amazing, right? I hit the ground running super fast. But y'all, speed does not always equal success. And when something goes super fast, it needs to fall. And this was my fall. I got into 2019 and my mindset was shit. My team had walked away. I had lost all of my runners, because here I was 24 years old at the time, and I had thought, that I was just the top of the world. Like no one could touch me. My team, we were there. There was nothing better. Well, they thought they found something. But what I always say, if you guys are experiencing your fall right now, they always come back. And Carly is proof of that, but they always come back. Every single person that left me in 2019 is back on my team, and no pun intended, they're thriving. But to move on from there, February of 2019 was my lowest of lows. I had actually sent in my resignation letter to Le-Vel, and thank the Lord, I don't know who put this clause in there where they make you agree and like confirm that you actually want to do it, but they had sent me back the very next day and said, okay, if you would like to, like, we're sorry to see you go, you know, like their nice message. If you are for sure that you want to delete your account, reply back. Well, that day I had found out I was pregnant with our now 1.5-year-old Rylan Knox. And I told my husband, I was like, what do I do? Do I start over? Do I go back to nursing? I'm a former nurse. And he was like, babe, you're going to start over somewhere at 0. At least here you're starting over with 20,000 in volume to work off of. And I was like, but I fell. How embarrassing. He's like, the comeback is so much better. And it hit me right then and there that I had decided to throw myself a pity party. I had decided that it was okay because everyone left me. All my runners left me. But what I wasn't doing was having self-discipline and self-realization that I needed to be my own runner. I needed to be my fastest, my strongest leg. I did not need somebody to come in and enroll 4K. I needed to enroll 4K. I did not need my downline to do something. I needed to do something. I became complacent in what my downline was and were not doing. That's where I stayed. So I took February to have a little pity party and I felt those pregnancy hormones bad. So to throw up every hour, basically, was my February. And then March of 2019, I decided it was going to be different. I took me and the 4 girls that were active on my team, and I created a brand new chat that I called IPA chat, income producing activities. And I said, every single Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will have a Zoom for our team. Y'all know how many Zooms I did just me? Not a single person showed up. I still did my training. I recorded it and I put it on my team, and I put it on my team page. Every single morning I sent IPAs. I sent what I was doing for the day. I sent what I suggest for the day. I sent tasks. I sent things. I did things that I would do at $1 million a month team. I did things that I still do to this day. It's a lot bigger now, and my Zooms now hold close to 500 people. But y'all, I went from being the only one on my Zoom to now having to, and I was talking to Amber about this, now having to buy the most expensive Zoom package because I can't afford to max out, because I can't afford to not allow somebody in. So to finish the numbers, just so y'all know, 2020, January, we ended at 162,000, and this year we ended at 472,000. I hit 200K for the very first time in March of 2020, the month that the world shut down. Completely shut down. People were like, I can't do this. How am I supposed to share? It's so offensive. It's so this, it's so that. Y'all, I didn't skip a beat because it's part of my lifestyle. I decided I was going to make this work. I decided it was going to be all in. Like there was no second guessing this. So March of 2020, I hit 200K for the first time. And then while we were at Palooza, I did it again on my husband's account and earned the 200K rank advancement bonus. In the last, since 2019, when I sent in my resignation letter, and again, no income claims, y'all, but my family, we have earned a free Audi. I was on that list. I was actually picked of one of the 8 people, and not including our weekly income, I have earned over $600,000 in bonuses since 2019 because I decided I was going to be my own runner. I decided I was going to be bulletproof. I decided other people's insecurities about me and this company or network marketing as a whole, I was not going to make them my own. I decided it was all or nothing. I didn't say I was stuck. I decided to say, you know what? I'm just not moving. Consistency became my best friend. Every single day, I do the same things that I did in 2019, I do today. There is nothing that I I might have just tweaked things, but when I decided March of 2019 that I was going all in for my family and I was going to change our entire lives, I meant it. I didn't break the promise to myself, but more importantly, I didn't break the promise to the little boy that was in my tummy that is now a 1.5-year-old that you can probably hear stomping around his playroom up there, because you are worth it. Your family is worth it. You're going to, and I tell this to my team every Monday. I say, you're going to fail at 5 things a day, whether it be in your business, whether it be as a mom, as a husband, as a caretaker at whatever your 9 to 5 is, or just in general. You're going to fail at least 5 things. If you're so afraid of failure, you're never going to do anything. You have to realize that failure makes it so you learn a lesson. Failure makes it to where you go, okay, you know what? That sucked, but I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to try it a little bit different this time. I'm going to get knocked down 7 times, stand up 8. Y'all, this was my 8. I've fallen and I've failed multiple times a day, but my business was not one of the things that I let go in the back burner anymore. It was my forefront. It was my family's future. We are creating generational wealth. We are creating generational freedom. It's never been about the money for me. It never, ever has been about the money for my husband. It was always about the freedom. It was always about taking control of our life and not depending on somebody else to do it for us, but us deciding that we were worth it and that we were going to break those chains that were tied to our families. We were going to be that chain breaker that made changes for generations to come. So that little boy, Rylan Knox, didn't ever have to wonder what it was like for his mom and dad to miss soccer practice. We did it for so many reasons, but the most important thing doing it was because we knew we deserved more. We knew that little boy deserved more, and we did it because nothing to do with the income, everything to do with the impact that we get to offer other people, but not only other people, our family. Ooh,
hold on, Lindsay. I'm gonna mute everybody again, and then I'll unmute you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry, y'all. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. So a couple things that I was looking at in the chat is I saw people saying about their sponsors and this, that, or the other. Y'all, I didn't talk to my sponsor, and Emma and I talk about this all the time. We didn't talk for 1.5 years. We did not talk for 1.5 years. Your sponsor, your sideline, your downline do not make or break your business. The only person who, my team calls this lens love. Either you love me or you hate me, because when you said real and raw, I was like, perfect. I don't know anything else. I don't believe in BSing it. I don't believe in sugarcoating anything. I believe that if you want to change your life, go fucking do it. And I excuse my language, but go do it. Like, no one is stopping you. You take your time and you want to believe in other people and you want to say, you could do this. And you want to talk about, you can do this, you could do this, but you aren't doing it. You're playing small. You want to ask these people to join your team. You want to talk about Thrive. You want to do this, but you're expecting other people to work their business that you aren't working. So it's one of those things where it's like, I saw in February 2019 that I expected my team to do things that I wasn't even doing. And that was the real, I looked in the mirror and called myself out on my bullshit. Cause I was like, you know what? And I have a sailor mouth. I apologize. I'm awful. I'm working on it, but it's not working too well for me. It's fine. But so I'm sorry if I offend anyone that way, or if there's littles on here, I am who I am. Sorry, not sorry. But I called myself out on my bullshit. And I was like, you want your team to post their products and their stories every day. You want your team to post opportunity stories. You want your team to post daily. You want your team to interact. You want your team to do 3-2-1s. You want your team to do this. You want your team to do that. I wasn't fucking doing that. So you are the fire on your team. You're the temperature of your team. Your team is going to look at you. If you're not in your stories, and I'm sorry if you don't build on social media. I build 1000% on social media. Not a single person who actually knew me joined me until after I hit 200K. Everybody was on social media. So for me, it was, why would I expect my team to work their stories? Why would I expect my team to post? I wasn't doing it. Why would I expect my team to go live and do an opportunity event when I wasn't doing it? You can't expect from others what you won't even do for your own business.
Yes. And I think something that you said, and I promise I've been listening to all this, but something you kind of said, when you talked about you started to kind of go at the speed of your team instead of your team going at your speed. That was, that's so eye-opening, because I think so many times we sit in the back and we're like, my team this, my team that, I worked so hard to recruit this person and they're not doing anything. And, and wow, like, be the promoter you want to recruit. Like, you do the IPAs. You want your team to lead a Zoom, you lead a Zoom. Like, so good. I know some people wanted to know, like, what are your income producing activities? When you were in there saying, okay, guys, we're going to do this, and there were no guys, there was just you. What were they? I think everybody wants to know what the magic daily is. And guys, I'm going to tell you right now, there's no magic, there's just do. But I'm going to let Lindsay kind of share her focus, where she focused that business growing activity, because there's definitely right activity, there's wrong activity, and then there's no activity. So Lindsay, why don't you share, where you really focused for, and where you still do. I love that you said that you're still doing the same things today that you started doing 2 years ago. Walk through a day, a week, a month for Lindsay.
Yeah, no, and I'm an open book. If anybody here has ever, my trainings are open. I don't hide anything. I think we grow together. My trainings are all available on my YouTube, Lindsay Reed Coggin. Anybody can find them every single Tuesday. I post them Monday night from before. So I don't hide anything. If you like my personality and you learn from me, like, y'all go to my trainings. They're open, they're there. I mean it when I say I'm an open book. I have nothing. We're not in competition. I said this on stage. We're not each other's competition. We're each other's proof. And if you've met me in real life, I see a couple of y'all shaking your heads, but if you've met me in real life, like, this is me. I don't hide anything. You want me to do a Zoom? I'm on a Zoom. You want me to, I'll make it work, because I'm not in this for me. And that came apparent with my IPAs. But something that I want to start, and I hope that you don't mind that I ask them to do this, is I start every single Monday night training of mine with the chat flooded with our I ams. So what are you fighting for? That's what I need to know. If you guys can flood this chat right now with your I ams, I am a leader. I am unstoppable. I am 4K. I am retired. I am enough. I am worthy. Y'all drop your I ams. Yes, bonus season is over. That's what I called it on my team. But y'all, your business is the real bonus. Look at all those I ams. When you forget why you're here, when you forget your why, that's when your business goes in the back burner. That's when you forget your business. So, and I don't mind. Here, let me actually pull up my entire list of IPAs so that way I don't miss a dang thing for y'all.
All right, y'all this is it. Everybody always asks, what am I supposed to do? What should I be doing? Get your notebook, record this part of it. She's going to give you the breakdown, the list of what she does, what her IPAs are.
Yeah. So I send every single morning, and I have since March of 2019, this exact list. Nothing's changed, if I'm being honest, because basics build your business. It's when you get overcomplicated and you think that, oh, I'm a 4K, I got to do this now. No, honey, you got to work your business. It doesn't matter if you're 4K or 200K. If you're changing things of what got you there, instead of growth changing them, but you're adding expectations, that's when you start to get overwhelmed. If you're like me and an overthinker and an anxiety butterball, that's what I do. So IPAs, and I'm loving all these IMs. If y'all have ever been on a Monday training, this is exactly how I started. I had somebody ask how I start my Mondays, and that is it, because you need to keep that forefront, and it's actually part of my IPAs. So the first one is self-development. And I'm going to go through and explain these so you guys can write them down, because I stand firm and true to these IPAs. Self-development, at least I don't like to do more than 20 minutes. And the reason I say that, and a lot of people kind of look at me, is because I get into a mental fog if I pour way too much into myself. And I don't mean that like, don't pour into yourself, but I could literally, if I spend an hour reading my book, or if I spend an hour, and if y'all have not read Rich as Fuck by Amanda Frances, you need that book. It'll change your mind on money, and the mindset and the energy. That is currently what my team is reading. But I like to do about 20 minutes a day or 10 pages, because Otherwise, I need to take a nap. My brain is tired because I did way too much and I'm like, ooh, I'm tired. So if you're like me, 20 minutes is like my magic number, or 10 pages. The next one is my products on my stories. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook and you've seen my stories every single day, yes, every single day, my 3 steps, my plus line items, y'all, boost and thirst, my jam, gut health. If you know, you know. But everything is in my stories. Now, your stories need to be 80% you, 20% thrive. So I'm not saying your stories are just your products. I'm saying they need to be sprinkled in there. And if you need some examples, you are welcome to look at my stories. The next thing would be interactions. You need to interact with people on, and this is all social media based, by the way, because that's how I run my business. So interactions, you need to interact with people's stories, non-thrivers. You need to interact with people's posts, non-thrivers. I love y'all. And I believe in sisterhood. I believe in Sideline Sisters. I will help anybody out, but post love is not going to make or break your business. We are not each other's potentials. Adding each other on Facebook, I love the support, but y'all, we're not each other's potentials. And I use my social media to build my business. That's why I'm on there. I always say that if it wasn't for this, I probably would live on like 27 acres and have 0 phone service and do absolutely nothing on social media, because that's all I use it for. So if you are only in your day interacting with other thrivers and then you're wondering why no one's in your inbox, sis, that's why. Because you're not creating new relationships. So we have self-development, products on stories, interactions, a post. So here's my thing about posting, because I get asked this all the time. How many times do you post a day? Y'all, once. I'm busy. I got a toddler that takes my phone any single chance he sees it, and he runs and throws it. And that's why my screen and my cameras are all cracked. Like, we can't have nothing nice up in here. Y'all saw my horses barking. Like, I don't have time to be on my phone making 13 posts. So what do? I make 1 post that counts. 80% you, 20% thrive. Sprinkle it in. And I have a 5s list that if you guys want to know about that, I can tell you that after, but that's how I create my content. And anybody on my team knows that the 5s list is the back of our hands of how we create
Lindsay,
content.
Just say it, because people are like, I want it. Look, yes, 5 list. What is it? Just say it.
Right, let me get through my IPAs so nobody gets confused. And then I'll teach you guys my 5s. Okay. I promise. So we have self-development, products on stories, interactions, and posts. The next one is sharing to your stories. Now this is different from just your products on your stories. Sharing to your stories is literally if you're driving to work, if you're driving to Publix, if you're driving down the street, if you're watching, like my family watches every freaking day, a Marvel movie. If your dogs are wrestling, if your kid is playing outside, if you are taking a test in school, it needs to be on your stories. You need to get into the habit of sharing your day-to-day life. And how many times have I heard, I'm boring, I'm lame. Sis, I'm not jumping out of an airplane. I am sitting on my couch. Half the time my hair isn't brushed, I don't have a bra on. Like, it's real life up in here. We don't pretend to be anybody that we're not around here. And if you watch my stories, you know it. I'm real, true, and raw to me, because I'm not here for influencers and bloggers to join me. I'm here for the mom that can't afford diapers. I'm here for the single dad that wants to stop working 12 hours. I'm here for the people that don't have the time and money to do this. So I'm real. I'm here for my people. So the next thing after sharing to your stories is 3, 2, 1s. And before y'all ask, yes, I will explain exactly what that is, because I had no idea that we made that up on my team. But we did apparently. So 3, 2, 1 is going to somebody's profile on social media, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. I do it on both. But a 3, 2, 1 is going to that person's profile, liking 3 of their pictures, commenting on 2 of their pictures, and watching their story and interacting with their story. And y'all, when I say it's nothing to do with Thrive, I mean it. I'm not in their inbox. I'm not on their post saying, hey, you need this. You look tired. Or, oh, you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. Message me. I mean real relationships. Really, like, if I see somebody like with a Great Dane and they're like, I broke a rib, I would be like, same. Y'all, mine keeps tackling me. I've had black eyes from my Great Dane. I've broken a foot from my Great Dane, but you got to love them, right? That's the kind of real and raw I'm talking about. So 3, 2, 1s, 3 likes on a picture, 2 comments on a picture, and 1 story interaction. 3, 2, 1. So we have self-development, products on stories, interactions, post, share to your stories, 3, 2, 1s. The next one is growing your networks. If you are somebody that's like, I don't have any potentials, well, do you have new eyeballs looking at your stuff? If you don't have new eyeballs looking at your stuff, how are you supposed to have new people interested? If you don't have new people to share your story with, for them to hear you and see you and experience what you're experiencing, how are they ever going to? You have to go out and find new people. They're not just gonna randomly, well, they do sometimes, but I don't like to put that chance in the air. I like to be in control of that. So what do? I go out and I grow my network every single day. And pro tip, when you start growing your network, you can do 3, 2, 1s on new people and start interactions and relationships with them right away. It's a really good way to get a follow back on Instagram. That's like my number 1 pro tip there. Another one is happy birthdays on Facebook. How many of y'all just skipped through that birthday section and don't even do it? I guarantee you it's a lot of y'all. Well, my favorite thing to do with birthdays is I message them a happy birthday, not just on their wall where it gets flooded and hidden with the other 1,000 people, but I actually message them. I say, hey, happy birthday. Do you have any plans for your day? Like, I start a conversation. I open the door. That's huge. Opening up that door. A lot of times people have messaged me, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Yes, I'm doing this, this, and that. By the way, what do you do for a living? I've been following you for a while, but I just never wanted to reach out. See? And then the next one is what we did tonight, I ams and gratitude. The only thing we didn't do is our gratitude. I do I ams, but not just write them out. I speak them. And I said this on stage. You can write as many things as you want on a dang sticky note. Y'all, it means so much more when you actually say them out loud. I say I ams with my 1.5-year-old. Rylan has I ams that we say to him every single night. And he mumbles because he doesn't speak yet with a little binky, and he goes, he knows. Like, this is something that you can do. But if you don't believe in you, how are you going to expect others to? And there's this really funny reel that goes around and it says, I don't need your like because I woke up today and I liked myself. Your like is extra. Y'all, that's the motto of this business. You love the products. You love the comp plan. We're unmatched in every meaning of the word. Why aren't you screaming it from the rooftops? So many of y'all are worried about selling that you aren't sharing why you're here. And that brings me to my 5s. So I will talk about my 5s real quick. And then if anyone has any other questions, I don't mind chatting.
Real quick, people want to know, like, the 3, 2, 1s. How many people do you, like, what's a goal? Like 1 person, 5 people, 10 people?
So I get this question a lot and I don't put a limit. And the reason I don't put a limit is because I time block 5 minutes for my IPAs. And the reason I don't put a limit is because I used to put like, let's do 10, 3, 2, 1s. And then people would literally sit there and not stop till they got 10. It'd be like an hour and a half later. And I'm like, that's such a waste of your time. So I do it in 5 minutes as long as I'm intentional with it. And I get done so much more in 5 minutes than I do when I set a number. Because when you set a number for something, that's what you focus on. But when you are just doing something for 5 minutes, knowing that your timer is going to go off whenever you're done, you're going to be much more intentional. And you would get so much more out of 1 intentional 3, 2, 1 or interaction than you will out of 17 forced ones.
It's like setting the timer and saying, okay, I'm set the timer for 5 minutes. I'm going to unload this dishwasher. Guys, you're going to unload that dishwasher in less than 5 minutes every freaking time.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You're going to get more done. All right, go to your 5s. I know people are chomping at the bit.
So my 5s list is actually part of my onboarding training for my newbies. So every single new person starts with their 5s. It's something that helps you create opportunity stories. It helps you create posts. It helps you with everything. And if you've ever seen a training of mine, I've probably mentioned it like 13 times per training because it's like my motto. So what it is it's 3 different lists, and I want you guys to write this down. The first one, oh, good night, honey, love you. The first one is your brand. Now I want you to put 1 through 5 on below it. This is you. Who are you? And I'm going to explain this and I'll tell y'all mine. Mine, and again, I'm not jumping out of airplanes. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm family oriented. My family means the world to me. Home decor is my jam. And my Great Danes. Those are literally my 5 brands. That is where my pictures stem from. When you're thinking about how do I make content, what do I post? Well, is your picture wrapped around your 5s? Because Instagram and Facebook, mainly Instagram, is a grid. It is literally just a grid of pictures. Is yours stock photos from the company? If it is, it's not telling your story. And your story deserves to be spoken. You deserve to shout it from the rooftops. And this branding 5 literally will make sure that your Instagram grid, when someone goes to your profile, they see you. 9 times out of 10, it'll also help with growing your network because people won't just see, oh, it's spam, right? The next one is going to be your comp plan 5s. So all things that set Le-Vel as a compensation plan apart. So with me and my team, I don't believe in cold messaging. So I threw that in there. And so one of my 5s is cold messaging. Another one is weekly pay. Another one is the VIPs in your first 14 days. Y'all, that saved me. That's a huge one. Another one is the fact that we don't have actually any auto ship requirements. Our auto ships can be changed or canceled at any time. That's huge in this industry, right? And my 5th one is always no monthly fees. We run our businesses for free. Another really good one is free product credits, auto bonus at the 2nd rank of our company. This is where knowing the compensation plan and what we offer that differs from the rest of the industry is huge. And what's important to you. More importantly, why did you say yes to Le-Vel? What was it about our company as a comp plan that you said, you know what, that's a good business. I'm going to put my name behind that. That should be your 5s. And your 5s will always change. So the 3rd and final one is our product 5s. And this is my your day 1 experience of thriving. What do you feel? Why do you, a year, a month, 7 years, 8 years, why do you still put the products in your system? For me, it was the fact that the shake didn't make me puke, ultra micronized, because I'm a texture girl. That was huge for me. So ultra micronized shake, wearable nutrition, human jumper cables. That's what I call our step 1. The fact that they hit you right away and pop your eyes open, because I was a 5 to 7 cups of coffee a day kind of girl. The fact that it is done the first 20 minutes of your day. And the fact that our product line is so wide that we have for every single lifestyle. That is a huge one for me, because when I started this, I didn't need to lose weight. I did it for the energy. Then when I was pregnant, it helped me through that. Now postpartum, it's sure as heck saving me. And I lost 7 chins in the matter of since July. So it's great. So that is my 5s. And whenever I make content, I pull my 80% from my branding 5. So my picture, I try and make it about my lifestyle and sharing what I'm doing and why it's important. And then I pull from my comp plan or my products 5 for my post. And now these 5s are bullet points. So you can go so far with it when you give a bullet point, and just see where your imagination takes you of why you felt that way and it was on your list.
I love that. And guys, for those of you that don't, I want to just give you some tips. If you're not comfortable on social media, I hear that all the time. One, I would encourage you, get on social media. It's where it's at. If you're going to be, promoting something, it has morphed into that. But guys, if you're not, when you're out and about in your day, these things go off of social media too. Just some interactions, send a text to somebody. I'm thinking about you. Hey, how's this been going? Go, make contact with people and don't talk about Thrive. Sharing 3, 2, 1, go tell your neighbor, hey, I really like your yard. When you see somebody, give somebody a compliment. these things do not have to just be limited off social media. Like, you are a real person, and Thrive goes with you anywhere. So if you're not on social media, how can you apply these things in real life? Because you're surrounded, if you have kids, you are surrounded probably by new parents, activities. If you are at work, you have coworkers. Like, you are your own social media network, whether you're on social media or not. So yeah, this was so good. I was like, anybody else got any questions? The 5 brands were just, or the 5 list was brand, comp plan, product, and then make 5 things that are unique to that. You know, one of the things I hope that you guys took away so much, there was so much to take away, but from Lindsay and Carly, highs, lows, a decision to do it again, back to the highs. So it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you've lost, if you've lost a $200,000 team, $20,000 team, you're not thriving for free. Like, none of that matters. It's where you are today and what you're going to do today, tomorrow, the next day. And, you know, like Gary John Bishop said, how long is that going to be your story? Everybody on this Zoom, there's a comeback story for you. There is a comeback story waiting to be told, so that you can be leading this Zoom, encouraging the others that are going to come after you. I want to leave you guys with this, and then if y'all have any questions, celebrate where you are. You are a thriver. First and foremost, you have the best product going into your body. You are a thriver. Accept where your business is at. Accept where it is. It's okay. But know and acknowledge that it's not where you want it to be. You know, one of the biggest things at Palooza that the speaker really talked about was, when you start to say, I'm going to pursue happiness, what did you automatically say? I'm not happy. And we're already in that negative mindset. So I want you to stop judging yourself, stop comparing yourself, accept where your business is at, acknowledge where you want it to be, love your business, and know that it can be a work in progress and something that you can be proud of at the exact same time. Hear that again. Your business can be something that you are proud of and a work in progress at the same time. So Lindsay, Carly, you guys got any last minute thoughts?
Yeah, I want to just leave y'all with something that was huge for me is don't own other people's goals for yourself. And I think that the pandemic taught a lot of us this just in general, because so many people on my team said, I want to retire my significant other, because they thought that was the thing to do, right? Like, that's what you do. You come home. Until COVID hit and their significant other came home and they couldn't wait to send their asses back to work. They realized that that was not what they wanted. What they wanted was the freedom. So here's the thing, as you're writing out your dream board, don't put a Louis Vuitton on there because you think that's what 200Ks do. Y'all, M asked me what bag I want. I said, none, it's going to collect dust. I don't need it. We're good. Thank you. Like, you need to own your goals. You have to sit there and stop looking at the square next to you, or your upline, or your sideline, or your downline, or a side, whatever, all the way across the universe, and seeing what they're doing and saying, oh, that's what I need to do to be successful. No, you need to create your vision so vivid that if bringing your significant other home was never a part of it, why is it now? Because Sally Joe Bob brought his distant cousin home. Like, that's not what we're about. You need to make sure that your goal is oriented to you. It's very, very easy in this industry to get what I call keeping up with the Joneses. You don't need to keep up with anyone. Your goals are your goals. Comparison trap will steal your entire business when you sit there and you try and make your goals about somebody else, because they were never meant for you. They were meant for them. So when you see them doing it and you see them driving the Mercedes, when you see them doing this, but yet you want a minivan because you got 37 kids, like, bless your soul, you can't be driving that Mercedes unless it's a big ass van. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You don't want the 2-door sports car. So why on your dream board is it the 2-door sports car when that's not realistic to you? you'll set yourself up to spiral when you get in that comparison trap if you do not own your own goals. So I just wanted to end that because that is a huge thing that I hear all the time is, I want to do this, this, and that. And I'm like, for what? Because I'll ask you why that's your goal, not because I'll change it, because your goals are your goals. If you want to thrive for free, baby girl, that's what we're doing. You don't want a team, then we're thriving for free. Let's go. But if you do, then you do, but don't do it because your next door neighbor wants it.
Hold on, Carly, I'm unmuting you. Love that, because somebody else's goal is not what's going to have you follow up again, send another, like that goal does not motivate you. You don't feel it in your heart. Your why should make you cry. And the only reason that is just that you should feel it so deeply that it's something that you just want so much. And somebody else's why is never going to make you cry unless you're just motivated, like, and inspired and happy for them. So, all right, Carly, close us out and we'll get out of here.
Okay, so I just wanted to say really quick too, a few, like 2 years ago before I left the first time, I always thought like I had to have this like incredible success story. You know, I was like paying to go on vacations and buying the Louis and getting the Mercedes and just like, you know, making all this money with Le-Vel, and that's great. And like, that's a great goal to have. But something I've learned throughout like going to all these different companies and just getting my mindset in the space that like it needed to be in is celebrate the small wins. $20 a week can fill up your car. Well, maybe not now. Gas is crazy expensive now, but it could buy you a can of formula. It can buy you diapers. You know, I really have started celebrating those small wins. And if my paycheck's $50, it's $50. That's $200 a month. You know, that'll pay my electric bill. And pay for other things that I need to pay for. I want to put my son in preschool in the fall, and everyone on my social media knows that. I talk about that all the time. I'm like, this business is going to pay for me to put my kid in preschool and possibly another kid in preschool. Like, I'm ready to get these kids out of the house. I got too many of them. But celebrate the small wins because those are so important. You know, Lindsay makes incredible money and that fuels my fire all the time. Like seeing her make the money that she makes, it's amazing. And, you know, people might be motivated by that too, but people are also motivated by being able to put diapers on their kids' butts and feeding their kids and paying for gas or getting a Zoom membership or just the small things. The small things are equally as important as the big things. So just make sure you talk about that. It's not embarrassing and it's something that you should be proud about, whether it's $20, $200, or $200,000. Like you need to be proud about where you're going and where you're at because it's just part of your journey. And, you know, God has you in this space that you're at right now for a reason. And, you know, that's something I've really had to learn over these last few months is like, I had to go to be with 7 different companies to truly have the confidence that I have now that I can tell you there's nothing out there better than Le-Vel because I've been with them all. I've tried it all. There's nothing out there that pays the way that Le-Vel does. Le-Vel spoils the hell out of us. And there's just nothing better. So if you ever have a question, you got someone that's like, hey, you know, thinking about something else, I've probably been with it. So just come to me and I will, you know, tell you all the things, you know, about it. So Le-Vel's where it's at. Just stay confident in your business because there's just nothing better out there. So I just had to say that.
I love that. You know, and guys, for some of y'all, the small wins right now is going to be consistent over the next 2 days, 3 days of posting about Thrive Again, maybe taking your 3 products. Like, don't shoot for the moon, you know, too soon. You know, set some realistic goals. Like, what is it that, you know, like, you know, look at Lindsay's list and say, I'm going to accomplish all of this today. And then when you get it done tomorrow night, you're like, I won today and I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And those small wins over time will lead to, you know, sky's the limit. It will lead to the moon. It will lead to the moon. So thank you guys so much for everything. I love both of you so much. Linz, I was there when you won that car in Florida. It's just an honor to share this Zoom with both of you. Carly, I'm rooting you on 12K and beyond. And we'll do this again soon. So I will upload this. I'll get this sent over. Everybody can have it on their YouTube channel, share it with people. that you know that need to hear this. So you guys have a great night. Get your Thrive on, get it in your stories, your 3, 2, 1s, your 5s list. Y'all go rock it. And we'll see y'all again soon.